Welcome back to the channel, guys. The cryptocurrency bull market of 2021 and beyond is well and truly underway. Let's have a look at the smart contracts today. So I want to have a look at these against the Bitcoin value. As always, we know this is where we should be looking first. And then also the US dollar values against these smart contracts, or everything in general. Today I'm going to look at ADA, so Cardano, Ethereum, ETH, and the last one is Polkadot. .dot, so just they're the tickers. They came up, they've hit my alerts, and I thought it'd be a good time to make a video on these three. They're looking stronger than sort of the other sectors at the moment, so I think maybe this is where we're going to start to take off. Yesterday's videos and the previous ones, we've hit XRP. That thing has gone nowhere. It's even gone further down, so sorry to those XRP true holders, true believers, not the fanboys. And then also Link has seen itself turn around like we talked about in yesterday's video as well. So bags of those. I'm liking DOT, and I've had a ton of Ethereum for a long time. So anyway, let's have a look at these charts. Enough of me talking about what's in my portfolio. If you find value in the content, hit me in the likes down below. It really does help out the channel, and of course it's free. Just click that button and then subscribe for more content like this so that you can keep track of all of these cryptocurrencies throughout this bull market. All right. Without further ado, let's have a look at the charts. Just taking a quick look at my theory of the smart contracts. I want to have a quick look at CoinMarketCap, 7-day percentage returns. Ethereum, we got 16.8, Cardano 23, and Polkadot 31.6. Now, in comparison to most of the other top 20, they are the movers. Obviously, we've got Theta here at 60%, VeChain at 27%, but it's not the smart contracts. They're looking at supply chains and Celsius, but let's not get into Celsius or any of those others at the moment. Let's focus on these smart contracts in the top 10 at this stage. First one is Cardano. Now, what I was looking at is the alerts I had set just above these levels of 650. Again, this looks like a little double bottom pattern. We've got higher volume. You can see through here and here. I'm using Binance. So if there is an exchange that has much higher volume, that is confirmed volume, let me know in the comments down below. But for now, this is what I'm using. So this is on the daily, and we've seen a push away on the daily. Now, I want to have a look at the weekly just to give us a bigger term picture, bigger term time frame. Doesn't look as strong on Cardano, only because we've seen a huge volume into the top, and that's usually a weak sign. So if you've got a lot of strong volume into a top, and then it falls away, it usually means that the people who had bought lower have been selling, or people who have bought at the tops are just selling out. They've gotten sick of it, they got their money back, or they lose a little bit and they're just happy to take the hit. And then the market has to fall away and find another support level. That's essentially the way I see the market sentiment and the fundamentals going on when I see a chart pattern like this. Now, this low that just came in, that is slightly lower than the previous low on the 16th of November, the week starting the 16th, doesn't have the volume that I want to see at a low, but it's still above average. So this little white line here is the average of the volume. And this week so far, we are a day and an hour into the new week. It's looking reasonably strong at this point, but obviously we have the next 5 days to go, and it's over New Year's as well, which usually leads to lower volume. So that could be a reason for this bar not being as high as we would normally see. We've had the Christmas breaks, we had Christmas Eve and Boxing Day and all this sort of stuff where there's less volume. So if I just take a quick look at support and resistance at this level, not a bad place to pull up. First higher swing, let me just bring that in so you can see a bit better. There's a low, there's another low here. This is a low that caused the market to change direction. And then this is the swing low here. So this is the pricing around that 550 area, 550 Satoshis. That is what is holding us up at the moment. And it was good resistance before during the accumulation period on Cardano. So it's not a bad area to find it, come back and test. So Cardano is looking pretty good. Let's move on to have a quick look at the US dollar value, and then we'll move to the other two. Basically, this is, again, pushing up. It is currently as high as it has been throughout this period, and looking like it's approaching that 20-cent level. So yeah, I've just got an alert set there at around 20 cents because that was an old high. We have not closed above the previous close here in July 2018. So there's a week back here. that basically put in a price of, where's that? Basically 17 cents. And we haven't had a weekly close above 17 cents yet. But that could happen this week. So I'm keeping an eye on that. Cardano looks like it's in a pretty good setup position, especially as the other smart contracts are also pushing forward. So let's move on to DOT and start with the BTC market chart. Now, of course, this is the old DOT. Now we have the new DOT. That's essentially what it's called. Let's bring it across so we've got the data here. We have had a push up on strong volume. So last week's volume was pretty high, considering, again, we've gone through the Christmas period and there's less volume. And now we're seeing a push above last week's high. So I like that with the BTC value for DOT. There's not much else to talk about here. My alert went off as I had it set above the old last week's high because I saw a lot of volume coming in, and I think this is a pretty good area as an entry. The USD value, look at that. That's what we want to see. It hasn't closed above its area of August when all of the hype was going on, but it is pushing higher, and this is a clear uptrend in a weekly chart as well. So we're not looking at dailies here, we're looking at the macro view. The macro timeframes are going to give us a better indication of what's to come as opposed to the 4 hours and the dailies, all right? So $6.40, sure, you could have bought it at $5, but it could have easily gone further down and broken out these lows. So this is a confirmation, and another reason why I think it's an important time to firstly make the video, because this is what we want to see. We want to see confirmation, we want to see breakouts, we want to see stuff confirming the uptrend, not trying to guess and hope that a market's going to push up and just say, oh, it's undervalued, you got to buy, you got to buy. Let's stick to the charts, and that's going to tell us when the time is right. So DOT, I'm going to add to my position on DOT, that's for sure. With Cardano, I don't have a position, just full disclosure, I don't have a position in that yet, but I did sell out all of my ICX maybe a week or two ago, and I'm thinking I'm going to shift that across to Cardano. I know that there's not as much room for it to move up in terms of, like just how low of a market cap ICX is, Icon, but I think it might be a lot stronger in the long run. Anyway, talking about DOT, I'm going to add to my position on DOT. Where we at with we've looked at BTC for DOT. Let's go on to Ethereum now. And this is the god market of the smart contracts, in my opinion, of course. I've got Bitfinex here because it has the most data with volume, and unfortunately, it doesn't have the most volume anymore, but it has the most data. So it's a bit of a pain in the ass. What I have to do is use Ethereum, BTC, let's spell it right first, and then use the Binance chart to get the volume data, which shows strong volume last week. This closed out Monday, 10 a.m. Australia time. So we've got pretty strong volume considering, again, the Christmas break. We've closed above this old resistance level, right on the money. Look at that subtlety in the charts. I've got around 0.0260, and last week's close was 0.02605. So the subtlety, the just the finesse in that, I like the look of that. Even if this went lower, I think this is a pretty safe point to be buying at, as opposed to up here at the threes. You know, we had a huge reversal week, high volume, high, much higher in the week, and then a big spike down, and then it's just fallen since then. So I think this is looking like a reasonably good point to that we're going to see a turnaround. Otherwise, maybe we'll see a little bump up, it'll test, come back down and try to test these lows again. But from here, it's not that big of a deal in my opinion. I'm looking at 0.0266. What can I lose? Okay, maybe 15%. That's where I think it might go. Anything can happen, right? Ethereum could take out all of these lows, and then we're screwed against our Bitcoin value, and it would have just been better to be sitting in Bitcoin the whole time. But I think Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin just on the amount of basically hype around Ethereum, the DeFi space, how much is coming into the space into Bitcoin, and then they're going to look for the next thing, which is Ethereum. I don't know if XRP is going to have its time again this bull market, just with how much crap's gone on with it, whether the newbies are going to come in and try and buy up the XRP, who knows? It's going to tell in time. So what I'm talking about here is, I think Ethereum, even at this price level of, basically this is 2.6% of a Bitcoin value. I think we've got a pretty good entry position here, especially as it's sitting on these old highs. That's what I'm talking about through here. And we've found support there on reasonable volume. So this is another good entry point. Last thing I want to have a look at is the US dollar value, which has spiked crazily. If I got on log, off, good. Last week's was pretty big. We thought 590 to 600 was overvalued. Now we see it at 700. It's crazy how much this has pushed up. My next resistance level is 830, so we'll wait and see if it just slices through that area as well. But the last time, just for disclosure, the last time I really bought a huge chunk of Ethereum was through here at around the 320 to 360 area as it sat on the old highs. That's essentially how I'm trading this: support and resistance, support and resistance. Last time I bought was there, but the time before that, sorry, was through here as it broke confirmation of these highs. And then I bought in this area here on this dump, and then a little more on that dump there. So it's a bit more difficult psychologically for me to be buying it at double the value as what I've already bought it for. But look, I think this has got a long way to go. I've said before, somewhere around that $4,000 to $8,000 per Ethereum in US dollar value at some point at the end of this bull market. So $700 to $4,000 is still a pretty decent return. Maybe it hits 5, 6, 7 grand, and there's a 10x from there. But I'm happy to add to my DOT position because DOT's around 5 or 6 billion now. Let's have a look at that before we wrap up. DOT is 5.7 billion. Ethereum's at 80 billion. If DOT has the potential to catch up or at least come closer to Ethereum, not actually match Ethereum, let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet, but if it can come closer to Ethereum and then keep up with the bull market, then obviously we're going to get a better return out of Polkadot. Am I spreading myself too thin by going with Cardano as well as Polkadot as well as Ethereum? Potentially. So that's why I'm hesitant on adding to Cardano when I've got Polkadot and Ethereum already, and then Polkadot is my basically safety net against Ethereum. So like if Polkadot can basically double what it has now and then start to catch up, then I'm going to get better returns using Polkadot. Do I need both? Time will tell. Anyway, that's me for this video. I wanted to have an update because I haven't done anything on the smart contracts on the channel in some time. Polkadot, adding to my position. Cardano, I think it's slightly weaker and I'm going to wait just a little bit longer, whether I add to that or not, maybe. And Ethereum, I'm going to wait for a pullback and then continue to add to my position there. I'm going to use that as my silver and Bitcoin is my gold. I add to those bags as these other projects rise up, sell out, put the profits into Ethereum and Bitcoin. So I don't need to buy as much Ethereum because I've got my heavy bags right now. Polkadot it is. That's me for the smart contracts versus Bitcoin. Huge potential there. If you found some value from the video, guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button down here. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're going to be following the cryptocurrency bull market throughout 2021. I think it even has some room to move into 2022, maybe 2023, if we see a huge pause in the Bitcoin price now that we have reached 28 grand. All right, let's cover Bitcoin, Chainlink, XRP, and anything else you want to see in future videos. So hit me in the comments down below with majors you want to see next. And guys, like up other people's comments so that I know which ones you want to see more of. I'll wrap it up there. Thanks again for your support, guys. It's been amazing. And yeah, appreciate the 35,000 subscribers. Let's push on to 40,000 subscribers throughout 2021. All right, have a great weekend and rest of your week. Wow, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're not even at New Year's Eve. Until next time, have more fun, get more done. Peace out, guys.